All clear. Dispatch, enjoy your ride. Ladies and gentlemen, to another wonderful and exciting episode of the Elias Express. Today we are headed to one last theme park on this little road trip we have embarked on, and we are headed to Kings Island. I wanted to do a video to go to a theme park where you do have to wear a mask, so I could give an honest opinion of what it feels like. Even though in my other videos I made it very clear I don't want to go to a theme park with a mask on, and I feel like it's going to take away from the theme park. I got to do a subjective view, I feel, in order to really stand behind my stance. So we're going to Kings Island today, one of the bigger roller coaster parks I wanted to get to in this country other than Cedar Point. As you can tell, my beard has been growing during this trip since I have not shaved, but yeah, it's been a nice little 9-day road trip out here on the road, seeing the USA. My hair is probably gonna get a lot more messy when we get on some rides. I don't care now. I don't know why I'm trying to bother. But yeah, there's this new Orion 342-foot drop. It looks amazing. It's a B&M mega coaster, so we're definitely gonna try to get on that first. I heard the wait's atrocious, so the sooner we get on, the better. And then hopefully we'll have, hopefully I don't wait more than an hour for Orion. I mean, I'm willing to, but hopefully I don't. So we'll see what that's all like. We have to go to the park, we have to get our temperature checked, we have to fill out this pre-health screening, and then we get to go in. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. We can take you with us in the park and have some world famous roller coasters nonetheless. So regardless of how I feel about wearing a mask, I'm still excited to get on some of these really cool rides that I've always wanted to go on. See you in the park. Such an iconic view as you walk in to Kings Island. This park looks amazing. I expect to be impressed, and I don't say that quite often ever when walking into a new theme park. So here we are, super easy getting in. They took your temperature, you walk through, they ask you if you got in contact with anybody with COVID, yada, yada, yada. Pretty quick, the line was socially distanced and spaced out. It moved pretty quickly. We're about to get into the park now. It's kind of walking from the car here, so we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it into Kings Island here in Mason, Ohio. What a beautiful, gorgeous entrance facade. I've been to King's Dominion before in Virginia, but this fountain just really absolutely takes the cake. My reservation wasn't for 11:30, and the coaster god and the one lady wasn't gonna let me through. And then this other guy came up, he goes, "Come here, sir." And the coaster gods are on my side today. Talked to a guest service representative who told me exactly where to go to line up to get in line for a boarding pass for Orion. Hopefully I could get on it and get a boarding pass so I could ride it twice today. But even if I get on it once, I will be lucky. Let's have some fun here in Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it in the background. What a beauty, a 300-foot drop, 91 miles an hour. Puts Nitro back at home to shame, but hopefully it rides as good as it looks. Just look at that beautiful, beautiful roller coaster right in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. We got our boarding passes. Come back from 11 to 12. I'm just going to wait here because it's only quarter to 11 until the park does open. But definitely, we're going to get on it, and I'm really excited for it. Well, props ahead to Kings Island. Looks like they're opening up the queue 9 minutes beforehand. Figuring it's a very popular ride. We want to get people on and off as quickly as possible. But very well, excellent operation so far, even with the restrictions at place. Probably the most impressive Cedar Fair park I've been to walking in thus far. Not just a good one, but the theming here is above and beyond. It's not half bad, I must say. Okay, right side, it's 11:09, 9 minutes after the park was supposed to open. Flip bad side is we still have about, I'd say, 20 more minutes of a queue. So I thought we were going to walk on, not yet, but I don't care. I'm still getting on Orion. That's what I care about. Some really cool theming inside the queue for Orion. So probably some of the best you've seen for a mega coaster like this, to be honest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just got off of Orion, and wow, what a world-class coaster that was. Definitely my favorite mega giga coaster, whatever realm you are in calling those. But my God, that was amazing. Well worth the 40-minute wait we had. Definitely excellent. I'm going to see if I can come back and do that again, but there are 13 other coasters in this park we got to do, including this indoor one I'm about to hit up now. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, first up on the technical breakdown sheet is Orion, the brand new 2020 B&M Hypercoaster at Kings Island. Now, I understand there's Hyper, Giga, Strata, all that stuff. For these types of coasters, though, we're not going to base it on the height of it. We're going to base it on the style of the car, which is the Hyper style car. So, Orion Hypercoaster. Brand new 2020 B&M here at Kings Island, my first ride of the day, and she was beautiful. A 300-foot drop, and that definitely played into the intensity factor of that at an 8.2. That chain lift as well. You go up about 14, 15 miles an hour on that chain lift, and you get up there quick. Total track layout, though, of 8.5. What an impressive beauty of a coaster to look at. She really does deliver for that for sure. Total theming, though, although for a big coaster like this, the theming queue was excellent at an 8. I had a nice little preview, pre-ride section beforehand, which was immersive as all anything. Total track smoothness, though. She's a brand new 2020 B&M. She is going to be smooth as the day is long, ranking it at a 9.5. Total airtime of 8.2 is a really cool section when you come down from a turnaround, and it's a 50-foot airtime hill. So essentially, you're going over at about, I would say, like 80 miles an hour, and just you hit this 50-foot hill, and you get all that ejected airtime, and that was so much fun. And a total re-rideability factor of 9, ranking in the total tempo tickets for Orion today at an 8.58. 8.58 total tempo. Just got in line for Flight of Fear, right off of getting off of Orion. Well, again, 300-foot drop, 91 miles an hour. You can't beat a roller coaster like that, unless you're Fury 325, which I'll get on one of these days, but man, that was way worth the 40-minute wait we had. It's only 11:33 now. I was only supposed to get to the park at 11:30 for my reservation, but the guy at the front desk was super nice and let me in. So because of him, I was able to get on this beauty of Orion. But either way, Flight of Fear is an indoor roller coaster. It's got some cool theming inside. After what looks like about a half hour or two, maybe. So we'll show you more when we get there. Up ahead, you see the racer. I'm gonna go get Fast Lane right now. I didn't know you could still do that. Online, it said it wasn't. You weren't able to buy it, so I didn't bother. But I'm definitely gonna be doing that right now and seeing how I do that. I'm guessing I have to use my phone, but we'll figure it out. So a bit of misinformation. They're not selling Fast Lane, only if you had pre-bought them before COVID hit. So I wasted about 10 minutes. Not the worst in the world. I'm gonna go back to the Orion area later to do that flight launch coaster. Once the indoor coaster calms down a bit, it seems so it's gonna have a long queue and a little bit longer of a queue now because of Orion being right next to it. So hopefully towards the evening that clears up. I'm gonna go hit the Beast right now if I don't see something to drink on the way there because it is extremely hot. But I'm not gonna give them that grievance for their operations there. I mean, some guys know, some guys don't. But I really do love this beautiful fountain with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a Backlot Stunt coaster. It's a little, it's a kiddie launch coaster. They have one very similar to that in King's Dominion over in Virginia. But making our way towards the Beast, which is a wooden roller coaster I wanted to ride long before, maybe going back 10 years now or so. It looks amazing. People rank it up there with the likes of El Toro on the Voyage, so let's definitely give it a shot and see if it lives up to his mind. I'm sorry, see if it lives up to his hype. Beautiful park though, beautiful topiary. Floor is clean. Hot day. I should probably put sunscreen on, but my stubborn ass isn't. But the footprints leading up to the massive wooden roller coaster overlooking us in the background, the Beast. Hillbilly in the end playing in the background. The Beast, ladies and gentlemen. There's the station for the Beast, a very nicely themed station. Goes up and around to your first drop. This is one of the longest wooden roller coasters in the world, as well as one of the fastest. Looking forward to a great ride. I will definitely share my thoughts when I'm off of it. Okay, so we just got off the Beast. If I was riding that in the 80s and the 70s when it first opened, I would say awesome wooden coaster. It is definitely one of the longest, if not as long as the Voyage, but an extremely long ride. There are 2 lift hills, which I didn't even realize on this ride. But as I'm judging it in 2020 compared to wooden roller coasters that I've been on since the Voyage and El Toro, that ranks actually not even, I would say, below my top 10. I was expecting so much more than what I got from that ride. Although it is legendary, it is a very long ride. There's a lot of G-forces. It's just wasn't as twisty and turny as I would have hoped it to be. Disappointed, but good to get the credit. Out of 10, I rate that a solid 6.7. Good roll, good Woody. Definitely better than any of the Woodies over in Kentucky Kingdom, but not as good as the Voyage or El Toro, or even the Great White for that matter.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the 1979 park-made classic wooden roller coaster known as the Beast. 65 miles an hour, over 7,000 feet in track length, 2 lift hills. While that does sound amazing, unfortunately, she didn't deliver to my full expectations and what other coaster enthusiasts tell me. However, though, here's my full breakdown. Intensity of 8, nice long ride, wonderful speed, and it definitely delivered on the sideways drop, which was different. Total track layout of 8, wonderful track layout, wonderful coaster to look at, and she does go around some great parts of the back layer of the woods. Total theming of a 5.5, nothing too immersive. Total track smoothness, though, and this is where she really does take a dive at a 4. Unfortunately, nothing too insane here. It's a bit of an older coaster, and it's a fast older coaster, so it really it's hard to upkeep. Unfortunately, you're at a 4 for that. Add time also at a 4. Nothing too crazy. Maybe a few of those turns where you come into the tunnel when you hit the apex of it, but other than that, it's still very slow, so nothing really intense at all. Total re-rideability factor of a 6.5 for the historic value of it, and because it is a long ride. I heard the night rides on here are cool, but I didn't get a chance to do it, unfortunately. However, though, total tempo tickets ranking in for the Beast at a 6.05. 6.05 total tempo tickets.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, up next is Diamondback, another B&M with a water splash landing. We'll be getting on that. They have wing seats on this, similar to Sky Rush over at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. This one looks fun and looks to be a short wait. I can't really tell from how they're socially distancing, but we'll see when we get over there. Definitely a lot better themed than King's Dominion in here, I would say. Very clean park. It seems to be in the wild, wild west right here. Some old school, old-timey antique photos. It's a very hot day.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the B&M Hypercoaster known as Diamondback. Diamondback was a wonderful roller coaster, and she reminded me of one very similar to that I've known at home, and the B&M Hyper of Nitro. Very similar heights, very similar speeds, very, very similar track layout, minus the end helix, which takes you into that dive, which Diamondback has, that Nitro doesn't have, but that water splash dive, which Diamondback does amplify very well at the end of the ride. And you'll see the rankings here, how very close they have it to Nitro. So let's go with Diamondback, ladies and gentlemen. Total intensity of 8.2. Yeah, it's a B&M Hyper. Wonderful first drop, wonderful airtime throughout. Wonderful G-forces, especially on the bottom of the first drop as well. Total track layout of 8.5, just like Nitro. She was very beautiful to look at. Theming of a 6.5. Decent queue. Nothing too immersive, but more immersive than that of the Beast, but Kings Island as a whole does a decent job with their queues, though, for the most part. Total track smoothness, though, for Diamondback, ranking in at 8.7. B&M's, like I keep saying, are built to last, and she is no different. Airtime of at 8.2, classic airtime in a B&M Hyper, especially on those first few drops as well, and the end little camel hunts as well. Re-rideability factor of 8.4. Love the Hypers, especially ones like Diamondback that do deliver time and time again. Ranking in at a total tempo tickets for Diamondback at a 8.19. 8.19 total tempo tickets for Diamondback.
Not Twisted Timbers, I'm sorry, Mystic Timbers here at Kings Island. And boy, do they have really cool queue lines here for the roller coasters. Something you're not used to seeing in a lot of parks. Looks like this might be a little bit of a wait, but it'll be fun regardless. Really cool station here. They do have an end dark ride section. They have a... It's all right operator is a little obnoxious. No theming in that rant, but they do have a nice little dark ride section at the end here, which I won't be able to show you, unfortunately, but I'll let you know what it's all about. Wow, Mystic Timbers, ladies and gentlemen. I would put that above the Beast here, as a matter of fact. Excellent G-force, excellent airtime, excellent turns, very high bank turns for a wooden roller coaster. It's a GCI, one of its kind, definitely one of its kind in the matter that at the end you go through like a little dark ride section, and that something that you don't see on a roller coaster such as a wooden roller coaster like that. It's more reserved for Disney parks and such. I wish I could have showed it to you, but there's POVs online. They're really strict about you filming on ride here, and I don't want to get kicked out of the park my first day here. But damn, what a wooden roller coaster. Worth the 45-minute wait. And I would, like I said, I'll put that in my top 10 Woodies of all time. And I would even put that above the Beast here in Kings Island.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, on the technical breakdown sheet is the GCI, or Great Coasters International wooden roller coaster in Mystic Timbers. A lot of people, from what I've read and what I've seen, don't really care for her all that much. However, I thought she was a wonderfully brilliant ride. Not my favorite wooden roller coaster by any means, but a really cool one and awesomely themed as well too. So here we go. Total intensity of a 7.3. It's not the most intense Woody, it's not the biggest or the fastest, but it does have some nice cool G-forces, especially on some of the dips and dives within the turns, especially on the bank dip turns as well. Total track layout of an 8. I think she is beautiful. She's nice and compact. She fits in, and she is a beauty to the eye. Total theming of 8.2. The queue just start off when you enter the line. It just looks amazing with the truck right there. And at the end part of the ride, something I've never seen on any wooden roller coaster, they have a dark ride section with the screen that comes out of you. So that was really cool and different to see, as well as the cars themselves the trains themselves on the roller coaster are really cool themed as well. Total track smoothness, GCI is generally delivering this at an 8.5. Wonderfully smooth, doesn't really have any bumpy moments whatsoever. Total airtime of 6.9. This is more of a twisty and turny coaster, but you do get some nice airtime dips in there as well. Complete rideability factor, in my opinion, of 8.2. I only got one ride on her because I was getting everything in, but I would keep going on and on again. Absolutely for sure on Mystic Timbers. Ranking in a total tempo ticket score for Mystic Timbers at a 7.78. 7.78 total tempo tickets for Mystic Timbers.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, is the Stuntman's coaster, which used to be themed after the Italian Job. It is no longer. I forget what they call it. I'm about to find out when we go around. It's a little linear induction with some effects. Backlot Stunt Coaster. That's what this is called. Must be that long of a wait. Gonna grab some food after this. So that was the Backlot Stunt Spectacular Coaster. Very similar to the one in King's Dominion. I don't remember going on there being an indoor section like that they had on here, but it was so many years ago I rode one in King's Dominion. I really can't tell you exactly. But yeah, no, good, nice little mild coaster. It was exciting to see. What's cool here, I mean, I do appreciate it with the park. They have this little area where you're allowed to enter and take your mask off, so you get a breather. I'm gonna do a whole day before I give you my review on wearing one in the park, just so I can give you my review on the rides first, and then I'll tell you how it is like going through a whole day in the theme park wearing a mask. But we're gonna grab some food. I'll be back.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, is the premier launch roller coaster designed by Warner Stengel himself in the Backlot Stunt Coaster. There are two actual exact replicas of this ride, both in Canada's Wonderland and in King's Dominion, but I'm going to give you my review of the one here in Kings Island. Total intensity of a 6.5, decent first launch, nothing crazy. It's more of a family roller coaster, but it's always fun to get a little bit of G-force in there. Total track layout of a 7, nice to look at, definitely cool to look at to the eye as well. Total track theming of an 8.2, very immersive, especially in the helicopter scene and the end tunnel part when you come out. I did think they could have done a little bit more at the end with the theming, but it is what it is. Total track smoothness at a 7, still launches well. The dips and dives are still nice, nothing too crazy or jolty. A little bit rattly, but nothing too insane. Total airtime of a 6. You do get a little bit, especially in the last hill coming out of the tunnel. And a total rewritability of a 7.5. It is a fun ride to go on, just because of the theming aspect of it as well. And I do like launches, no matter how small or big the launches are. So a total tempo tickets ranking in the Backlot Stunt Coaster at a 6.92. 6.92 total tempo tickets for the Backlot Stunt Coaster.
So excellent news. We are able to get in line for a ride, and again, have to come back by 5 to 6 in order to get in line. Hopefully be less of a line than before. But they're still handing out passes, which is a good thing. Now we're going to be taking on Flight of Fear. We were going to do that before. Looks to be a little bit of a shorter wait now. This was an indoor launch coaster from what I've seen online. Looks to have a pretty cool queue. Well, the queue of the day so far definitely goes right here. Lots of theming, lots of lights. Short queue inside. They should have the whole queue from outside to inside. It would have made a lot more sense. Air conditioning here. But you walk up into the UFO, and that's where the staging platform is. Excellent work. One of the best parks I've seen, even just as good, if not better. I would say they do a better job here than Universal, combining theming and thrills. The only thing you really compare it to is Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney as far as top thrills are concerned. But they do an excellent job here at Kings Island. Excellent. About to board here, and again, an excellent queue line. Really excellent theming. Kings Island has outdone themselves for this one. Take note to the thrill parks. This is how you do it here. I'm very, very impressed so far. Here's the station. It is a launch coaster right out of the station. Excellent theming again. Again, Kings Island has really outdone itself. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow, if you can tell from my hair, that launch was excellent. I didn't realize how fast it was. That was about a 0 to 60. 4 different inversions, very similar to the Rock and Roller Coaster, excellently themed. I wasn't even expecting inversions on that. I didn't know. Like I said, I saw the POV online, but you can't get too much of it. There's no shoulder harnesses and there's inversions, and I love rides that do that because it's so much freer when you go through. All that good jazz. Definitely very, very good ride. Excellent. Rated one of the better in the park so far. I love a good indoor themed roller coaster, and Kings Island, you delivered on that one.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, on the technical breakdown sheet is Flight of Fear. Flight of Fear is an indoor launched dark ride made by Premier Rides, and what a wonderful treat from the heat, but a wonderful treat altogether this was. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Reminded me very much of the way Rock and Roller Coaster operates with the station inside and the way you go through the queue. Obviously, it's not themed to the Rock and Roller Coaster, but that's what the setup reminded me of that. Either way, into the intensity ranking of a 7.5. Nice snappy launch, nice G-force throughout the inversions as well. Total track layout, though, of a 7.7. Nice and compact inside. Not the most beautiful coaster to look at because you can't see the whole coaster, but it is a nice and compact coaster, so it gets 7.7. Total theming, and this is where this ride excels. The queue is so immersive. The loading station is so immersive. I mean, when you're in the actual ride itself, it's just like a lot of lights, so that's why it's only getting a 9. If it would have got a higher score, trust me, that's how good the queue and the station is. It gets a 9 for that. Total track smoothness of a 7.4. A little bit older on this ride, nothing too insane though. Still holds up decently. Airtime over 3 on these launch coasters. You don't get much older. No, that's a lie, depending on what launch coaster we're talking about. But on a launch coaster, it's mainly inversions like an indoor one like this. You mainly do get low airtime. But a total rewritability factor of an 8 just for the experience of the queue and the actual really cool ride inside. Bringing in Flight of Fear's total tempo ticket score to a 6.87. 6.87 total tempo tickets for Flight of Fear.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up is the Racer. There are 2 sides to this attraction. It is, so you can find out some information about this. It tells you what year it came out. I don't think so. No. It's definitely an older wooden roller coaster, dating back from the park open. I'm not sure the exact year. It's a Racer roller coaster. So very similar to that of Rolling Thunder. The Jericho, as me and my friends call it. Yeah, 2 separate tracks. And they split you up here. And no wait too, so it's nice. We didn't knock these 2 out really quick. So we just got off the red side on the Racer, about to board we got the front row, which was nice, about to board the back row, the blue side. What I do like about this ride is they do dispatch the trains simultaneously, as you'll see them coming up the lift hill right now in just a second or two. Remind me very reminiscent of Rolling Thunder, the old racer in Six Flags Great Adventure. Going back to my childhood, so I definitely did enjoy going on a similar style wooden roller coaster. You see it goes back in the station as I load. Yeah. Sure, just came. I'm getting sunburned today. Just came out the back blue side of the racer. For some reason, they didn't dispatch that time the same as the other track. I'm not sure why. But either way, good old classic wooden roller coaster. It's always fun to get on these. Definitely a little rickety and rackety in there, but that's what you expect with these types of roller coasters. But I mean, can't complain. Always good to see theme parks keeping an upkeep like that. Definitely love my Woodies. That was my 8th and final Woody of this trip. Unfortunately, there are no more Woodies to go on.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the wooden roller coaster known as the Racer. The Racer debuted at the park in 1972. It first opened. One of the original attractions that is still left in the park from park opening. But the Racer is a dual wooden roller coaster. It's a racer, so side by side, identical tracks. It's out and back layout, chain lift. All together, though, wonderful ride. Classic wooden roller coaster, but since it is identical, I mean, I'm going to rate them both together into one video for those purposes. So here we go with the Racer. Total intensity of a 7. Nothing too nuts, nothing all that mild though, but a medium intensity throughout the ride. What these classic wooden roller coasters often do deliver on. Total track layout of a 7 out and back, so always great to look at. And a total theming of 3, a little bit low in the theming, very generic. Going into the smoothness though, it is that older ride. And because of its age, it doesn't hold up as much. I'm assuming it was a lot smoother, but now only an out of 5. Total airtime though of 5.4. You have some decent bunny hills at the end, as well as your first initial drop as well. The re-rideability factor of a 6.2, because it is a racer, you want to go on both sides and you want to race your friends, of course. Bringing a total tempo tickets for the Racer at a 5.82 total tempo tickets.
Coming up next to Adventure Express, this is the park's Mine Train roller coaster. From what I see on the outside, looks mildly themed. This park has shocked me with some indoor theming sections that you really don't see from the queue. But we'll see how this one rides. I'm expecting a moderate family-style coaster, but I mean, you never know something until you ride it. Looks like pretty cool mine train cars here. An older station, but definitely looks like fun. Well, there we go. We just got off Adventure Run here, and for a mine train, it's better than the runaway train. I'll give it that. It's really cool new cars they have on there. A lot more scenery than I was expecting. Lots of cool twists and turns. Mediocre as far as intensity, but for what it is, I'd say it's a very good attraction. A lot of theming for a ride like that, especially one outside. At the end part, it actually takes you inside, and you're going up this chain lift, and if you think there's another part, and then it just comes to a break and the ride ends. But it's cool that it does feel like you're outside of the park. You don't see anything else besides the ride you're on, which I do enjoy. But overall, no, not a bad ride. Worth a re-ride? Probably not today, but I would do it again, absolutely.
Up next on the technical breakdown sheet, ladies and gentlemen, is the Arrow Mine Train, known as Adventure Express. This family roller coaster is wonderfully themed, and it was a cool ride. It was a different ride for sure. It reminded me of like an outdoor Skull Mountain, if that makes any sense. But either way, here we go with Adventure Express. Total intensity of a 6.5. For a family coaster, it had some moments. It definitely did. Total track layout of a 7.5. It was nice layout. It was enticed by itself, so it made you really feel like you were on an adventure, so I did appreciate that as well. And a total theming though of an 8.4. The station was decently themed, but there's a really cool end section where you go through like this Mayan temple almost, and it has really cool themed as well. It was a letdown though, because I thought you were going down another drop, and it just takes you right back into the station, unfortunately. However, though, total smoothness of a 7, even though it is an Arrow, she is pretty smooth, though. Airtime of a 2, not much at all, yeah, very minimal. And a re-rideability factor of a 6.2, especially if you have some kids with you. Making total tempo tickets for Adventure Express, ranking in at a 6.55. 6.55 total tempo tickets for Adventure Express.
Up there, but I don't see anybody queuing, so I'm going to see if it's opening today. If not, we're going to go check out Banshee after. I don't think they're queuing today. I got it. Maybe later. Yeah, let's go check out Banshee. Haven't been to this part of the park yet. It looks like it's just a big giant loop around, maybe, I'm not sure. But here is the park suspending looping coaster, and Banshee sits 4 across. So similar seats to Batman from Six Flags Great Adventure if you've been. But from what I hear, it's one of the better suspended looping coasters, especially what was really cool is the lift hill is integrated into the first loop. I'm sorry, the second loop. Wonderful bank drop coming off. It's a quick turn straight down out here into what is a half loop inversion coming down to a full loop. That goes right through. I've never seen that before. That is amazing. So they're closing down for weather right now, which is a bummer. There are 2 more I want to get on, Banshee and then this reverse sea serpent, which I've been on one like that, very similar in Six Flags New England. So if I don't get on that, that is what I really need to get on to complete this park here today. Although I do want the credit, but I won't be super bummed if it doesn't happen. But yeah, they're closing for weather right now, which, I mean, it does look dark around. Doesn't seem as if it's that bad, but who knows? We'll wait it out and see. So like I said, we are currently down for weather. It's 4 o'clock. If by 5 o'clock everything's up and running, then awesome. If not, then unfortunately looks like we're gonna have to call it a day here. Only 2 roller coasters out of the park that I wanted to get on that I didn't, and Inversionator being one that it's kind of like the Sea Serpent, but it's suspended that I've been on. I mean, it's always good to get the credit. And then Banshee was one I really wanted to go on too, because it's one of the higher rated suspending looping coasters in the world. But if I don't do it, it's all good. I had a great day here so far. 5 hours in the park, got so much done. Here's another shot of the Eiffel Tower right back behind me. I'd like to go check that out later if I can. If not, it's all gravy and name it. Well, when it rains, hit up an arcade, and that's what we're gonna do here in Kings Island. It's a wonderful kind of air-conditioned arcade. Typical theme park arcade, nothing out of the ordinary games that I have always seen all over the place, but it's always good to get out of, well, do something while you're waiting. Just spent $10 too much in that mediocre arcade. Nothing is operational yet. I'm gonna give it another half hour or so and see what it is. I'm gonna go to the front of the park now and look at the shops. Maybe get a souvenir or 2, a t-shirt. Oh no, wait. Rides are going. No, we're good. Let's get on some. Right on. It does seem that since they announced that they were closing down for inclement weather, that a lot of people have left the park. Today is a pass holder day only. And we bit the bullet and got the season pass just so we could come here today. So that's a plus. I feel like a lot of people left saying, oh, we can come back whenever during the season. Why bother today if it's going to rain and we're not going to get anything anyhow? But looks like we're going to head on over to the part of the park where we're just from. The Banshee in the background there. Hit up Banshee, hit up DeLorean, and then maybe that drop tower too. And then head on out of here. Alrighty, see some rides testing, but I'm not sure why they're not opening yet. Not sure if one ride should be a park-wide announcement if they're going to shut them all down. Looks like people are still waiting here for Banshee. I'm going to go up and see what's good. So, waiting outside of Banshee, and it just started to rain and thunder and lightning out. Fortunately, I think Banshee's going to be on the chopping block today, guys. It doesn't look promising at all. Would have loved to get on this great inverted looping coaster. Looks like one of the best out there. But it just started to rain and we heard thunder, so I'm going to give it another 10 minutes, but I highly doubt it. Ladies and gentlemen, Banshee is up and running again. I waited it out. I was about 4 minutes away from leaving the line, and now they just started testing trains. Looks like I will finally get my ride here on Banshee. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the B&M invert known as Banshee. And what a wonderful treat she was. Amazing roller coaster. Before we get on the whole technical breakdown, I just got to say I'm on board with the wonderful shoulder harnesses on this ride. I know a lot of people hate them. I thought they were wonderful, though. Total intensity, though, of an 8. She does not let up from start to finish. Lots of G-force sustained throughout the whole entire ride. Layout of 8.2. She was a beauty to look at, and wonderfully, what's really cool about this, very similar to Kumba over at Busch Gardens, Tampa, is that the first loop goes through the through the lift hill, which is really cool. Not many coasters do that. Total track smoothness, though, she's a B&M, and generally, like I say, they are built to last at an 8.
Total airtime though of an 8.2. Yeah, these inverts unfortunately don't get much. And a total rewritability factor though of an 8.2. Wonderfully smooth, lots of G-force, wonderful inversions, bringing Banshee's total tempo ticket score to a 7.37. 7.37 total tempo tickets for Banshee.
Fantastic day here at Cedar Fair's Kings Island. Like I said, a very clean and pristine theme park. Great people. The ride operations were fantastic. They were getting people on and off the rides as quickly as possible. With the restrictions they do have, they top you out here at 10,000 guests a day, which is not a lot in the theme park. So definitely make those reservations, use advantage of it, because the lines have been fairly short here for the most part. Amazing time though. We're gonna head on out of here. What an amazing park though. I would definitely recommend, I mean, I have a season pass so I can always come back, but I definitely recommend coming back again. And I really can't wait to hit up Cedar Point. On our way out of the park, and they had the Kings Island Theater. Currently nothing is showing right now, but it does look like a nice cool little place to cool off during the summer. Making our way, actually gonna be in the front of the park now, where I'm gonna give you my final park review in just a minute. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here for my final review of Kings Island. Amazing, amazing, amazing thrill park. One of my favorites, right up there with Six Flags Great Adventure and Six Flags Magic Mountain. Definitely a place to check out if you love thrills and you're a thrill seeker. Favorite ride of the day, of course, being Orion, a 300 feet drop, 91 miles an hour. Coming in second place for me is actually going to give it to Mystic Timbers, that CGI Woody with all that theming around it. And right behind that is Diamondback, another B&M mega coaster with the inverted seats. Great place to come, amazing world-class coasters, great prices, the operations are great. The park is probably the best Cedar Fair park I've been to. Extremely clean, people are extremely friendly, and I loved it. It was really, really amazing. Definitely recommend going back here. So now am I officially out of the park. I am allowed to take my mask off and tell you my actual feelings of how it felt to be in the park all day. I was there since 11 o'clock this morning. It's now 6 o'clock now. So that's 7 hours minus the 30 seconds I took it off to show you that rest area and all that lunch I had before. I was like 20 minutes. Other than that, I was wearing it the whole entire time. I did take it off in Orion because I wanted to experience that without a mask on. And I wanted to come here to do one to give you a subjective view, and I still am not a fan of it, unfortunately. It was cool, like I said, to get on all these world-famous class, cool roller coasters that I might not ever have a chance to do for a few more years. That part was awesome. But as far as actually... with that being said, though, I did enjoy this park more than the other two as far as parks. Being said, that's my review of theme park where they do make you wear a mask, and now it's time for me to...
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the total breakdown of Kings Island as a whole park. And we're going to start right into it with theming. When you first come in, you have the great entrance marquees around you, the great fountain leading up to the wonderful Eiffel Tower, which greets you, and constant theming throughout the park. Most of it is thought out and is very immersive for the immersiveness you do get for what they can do with the thrills they have. So definitely ranking in at an 8.7. Cost, your typical standard corporate theme park cost. It's going to cost you some, so not yet. Ranking in a little bit lower on that at 6.3. Cleanliness though, and they do excel in this at an 8.9. Not much trash at all around. No graffiti, none of that. Very nicely kept theme park. Quality of attractions, they have some world-class rides here for sure at an 8.5. Yeah, you can't get much better than Kings Island. You can, but it's very hard. Very few and far parks in between can do that. Up next in operations of an 8.4, everything was running as quick as possible. They had as many trains on the track, and they were really doing a great job getting people on and off rides. And a total upkeep of the whole park at an 8.2. A lot of it does look pretty crisp new, and even the older parts, they try to, the older attractions, they do try to keep up and look as new as possible. Ranking in a total wonderful tempo ticket score for this beast of a theme park of Kings Island in Mason, Ohio at an 8.24. 8.24 total tempo tickets for Kings Island. See everybody next time, and until then, I'll meet you at the Midway.